Okay, YouTube, I made it to New Mexico. Here we go. I have a wood pile right here. There was an old juniper stand in this area. My father and I, we cut it down. And then I have a little patio, campfire. And now I'm unloading the trailer and getting everything ready. Okay, I got some more stuff done. I don't know exactly what was done before and what was done now, but I cleaned up the general staging area and put most of these wood scraps into this structure right here. And the plan with this is to catch the monsoon rains, right? This is all coming downhill, and the plan is to direct the water here so that way it doesn't necessarily dam up and stop, but more so that it slows the water. I've also set up a tent, and I've also found a good place to start a little garden. I have a little, what do you call that, copse? A small grove of piñon and alligator juniper. I don't know how well it will show up on the camera, but the soil here underneath these trees is much richer than anywhere else where I'm at. So I'll be gathering up a lot of the elk droppings in the area, and there's some right here, right? And then I will be planting these raspberries. I have some heirloom raspberries from Wisconsin, as well as some heirloom potatoes. I think these came from Michigan. They'll be getting watered, and the idea is to have the garden here so that way any extra water will go to the trees. With any luck, that'll help produce a higher yield for the piñones. Placing these plants under the trees will also help to keep the sun from beating down on them throughout the entire day. It'll also give a natural source of mulch as the leaves and the pine cones and what have you fall down. Alright, as the sun comes down on the first day here, take a look at all the miscellaneous things I got up. One thing to note is that while I do have a tent out here, I won't be sleeping in it, right? I was speaking with my neighbor earlier, and he told me that there's a there's a lion in the area, so yeah, I don't know, it seems a little prudent to sleep inside of the trailer with metal walls and whatnot. Don't particularly care for the idea of a big big animal with weapons all over waking me up in the middle of the night, so I've cleared off the top and set up a makeshift bed. It's just some wooden slats and a carpet. Put some blankets on top, and that'll be that. right here and what have you, and yeah, I think I'm gonna enjoy this fire now. Okay, YouTube, I just got all of the raspberry plants in the ground. I have one of them here, and what I did with this one was I used a mattock. I don't know if it's showing up in the camera. I used this mattock here to dig out a hole and to break out all of the large stones that were in it, right? And then I picked out all the smaller stones as well, scraped off some of the rich soil from underneath this juniper, and put that down in there, right? I left all the soil pretty loose so that the roots of the raspberry could take off. So after I did that, what I did was I went around and I searched for a bunch of elk droppings, and I got a whole bunch, and then I put those on top of the raspberries. Then I took a bunch of dry, dead sticks, twigs, branches, a bunch of high carbon material, and I piled it around and then filled it in with more rich soil. Then I gave it a good water. That's what I did for this plant. And then over here with these raspberries, I did something very similar, but instead of having to excavate and then refill with rich soil, this grove of trees right here has very rich soil under it. And so I was able to really just backfill the soil. I followed the same process of going out and searching for elk droppings and then putting those in, and then covering up with sticks and branches and twigs and other high carbon material, and then putting a little bit of mulch and soil to fill it in. I did not plant these potatoes into the soil. Why? Because I have shoots coming up. And so I think what I'm going to do is just let these go, and at the end of the season, harvest them and keep them for seeds. And I'll prepare some type of garden potato patch for next year. But realistically, a potato patch is not doable this year. Here I have some solar panels set up. These are EcoFlow solar panels. They're foldable and portable, and you know, these are great for camping and setting them up quickly, but they're extremely expensive, right? That convenience and ease of setup really does come at a premium, so I do not recommend these to pretty much anybody except for campers. You know, camping enthusiasts. I have the power running under there into the trailer. Coming up through the floor into my battery bank.